Here's the clip. Even behind the scenes, I've never heard.
Interesting. I think the problem I would say with Poki, this sounds mean, I'm not trying to dig it or anything. Why did Poki only get 200,000? That's more surprising to me than any of the likes or the dislikes. Oh man, what is this? This throws up a ton of red flags. Dr. K completely disagrees with you.
Might say sexism at work here. It's because she's a woman. It's because she's a woman. I have another theory, and I thought about this initially because I saw this post on my Reddit. Okay, Destiny has nice things to say about Ludwig. Here's the clip. Even behind the scenes, I've never heard anything bad about Ludwig.
Shut up.
I think that if Ludwig came back, I could be wrong, but like, just Ludwig is just so straightforward.
Wait, when did I say this? Why was my voice so good here? What happened?
So like brazenly and used as on everything. I feel like I don't think Ludwig would get that much of a negative pushback, yeah. Now, I'm being glazed and used as an example here to argue against this being sexism at play, and it's just Poki up at play. But I think it's actually even more interesting than just simply Poki up. Okay, because if we look at some other things, maybe some more innocuous things, for example, here Pokimane answers the web's most searched questions, Wired autocomplete interview. You can see it didn't go very well. All right, now she doesn't say anything controversial in here. Poki just has a lot of haters, almost 6K downvotes. Okay, I did the same. I got 10 times more views on mine. I only got 1.6K.
Hi, I'm Poki, and this is the Wired autocomplete interview, and I'm really nervous. I don't know what people have been Googling, and I'm about to find out. So actually, the reason this is my name is because obviously gaming, I play a lot of Pokemon, and my name is Iman. So it's supposed to be a play on words. That's why it's actually supposed to be pronounced Pokimane.
Oh, hello. Excuse me. Vindication, motherfuckers. How many times I told you, I'm glad we watched this shit. Thank you, you guys. I've said this a million times, and you guys are always like, no, it's Pokimane. You guys.
But I understand in English, this just reads as Pokimane, so I'm never mad at people when they pronounce it that way. I'm like, call me whatever you want, as long as it's nice. What made Pokimane famous? Streaming. For sure, 100% streaming. I've been streaming since I was 17. It's been like 9 years. I started doing it as a hobby in high school, and then it became my full-time job, and then I started making content on all platforms, and that's how people know me, I guess. That was so...
I haven't done like a big brand analysis on like Poki. I'm getting like stronger feelings though as I like actually watch. I don't watch anybody's content, but especially Poki's because it doesn't tend to come up in my circle of interest much. But I'm getting stronger feelings now. Why? I think I understand the feedback she gets.
All week. I'll do the next one harder.
He said that she doesn't say anything hateable in this, so I'm just curious why this got, because supposedly this got like a really negative reaction.
Does Pokemon still stream? I do, just not as often as I did before. You know, when I first started my career, it was like 6 days a week. Then it was like 5. Then it was 4, consistent schedule. And now...
How much does she stream? In the last 3 months, she streamed 31 times. So every third day for about 5 or 6 hours of stream. So not too much. Does she still do YouTube content? Oh, geez. Wait, why did I feel like her presence on the internet was so much larger? Wait, what the f am I missing? Interesting. So she's like a popular brand, but her presence is a little bit harder to see, I guess. 6 million plus followers on Instagram. Huh. Pretty decent engagement, I think, I would say, yeah. Huh, damn. Interesting.
now it's like 3, 2 times, I'll see you when I see you. And I like it like that. Because now I'm able to do so many other things, luckily. But I still try to make content regularly, pursue some new things. I have some exciting projects. I just can't tell you yet. I'm sorry. Soon. Does Poki...
Oh God, she was probably referencing the... She was referencing the cookies. Oh no.
That's what I consider manifestation, not necessarily wishing something into existence, but thinking about it so hard that you recognize the opportunity when it comes. Aside from that, I really do wish. Iman is height, 6'2", 6'3" on a good day, says my Tinder bio. No, I'm honest. I'm 5'3" and 3/4, but I just say 5'4" because 3/4, who cares? I think it's a very nice average height. I'm very content with my height. How is Poke? That's so cute. Whoever's Googling that, okay. Honestly, I'm pretty good today. Not a lot of people ask, so thank you. I'm doing so. How much Pokimane worth? See, net worths are kind of complicated. It's supposed to be how much is in your bank account, how much are your assets worth, and I feel like net worths tend to be overestimated because they don't consider LA taxes. So I'm gonna stick with priceless. ASMR. Whoa, Pokimane. There's a meme. I can't even tell you the whole meme.
I have it.
You have it? Oh, for sure.
In Pokimane, in math, my solution. In history, my queen. In art, my canvas. In science, my oxygen. In geography, my world.
It's a very, very cute meme. It's wholesome.
I feel like several people in chat are saying it. I understand more. I just haven't watched a lot of her like prepared content or videos. I think the problem I would say with Poki, this sounds mean, I'm not trying to dig at her or anything, but I think that the image that she cultivates for stuff like this feels highly manufactured. Now, technically, there's nothing wrong with a manufactured image. Most celebrity images are manufactured, but I can't feel manufactured. And I think her image feels super manufactured. If Ludwig is going to make the sexist argument, I think there is a sexist argument that you could make here. It's a little bit intricate, but what you could say is women have a very narrow space that they're allowed to inhabit in online communities, because if you're too rambunctious or if you're too much of an asshole or whatever, people can label you very negatively, and men are less receptive than that, which causes certain female content creators to have to cultivate a very safe and friendly image, whereas male content creators have more flexibility in how they can act. I don't know if I would actually fully agree with that argument, but if you were going to use the sexist argument, that's like the only angle I think you could take. Just saying that she just gets negative feedback, she's sexist, I don't think that's it. But we'll see what Ludwig says.
K downloads. And here's my theory. Poki is really, really famous. Like, you cannot fathom how famous she is. 9.3 million followers on Twitch. I think outside of Ninja, she's probably the most famous streamer alive. I would argue more famous than XQC. Maybe not after the recent drama, but
I'm so curious where Pokimane's fame comes from. Is it like just marketing? Because she doesn't really have like the audience or the viewership to... Unless we're saying just most famous female or woman, maybe, I guess. I'm not sure.
It definitely was, all right? And that's further backed up if you look at Google Trends. There's 1 week in the past 12 months where I've been more looked up or more famous than Poki, and it was chess boxing. And then the week after chess boxing, things went back to where they were. She's...
At the height of her fame, she was unbelievably famous. Yeah, I think Twitch promoted the out of her too, because she was probably the largest or one of the largest women creators on the platform, yeah.
Really, really famous. And why does this matter, Ludwig? Why do you keep bringing up that she's famous? Because when you start content creating, the people who know about you are just the people who like you. So if you up, they're going to be the most charitable possible people. They'll be like, yeah, we get it. Sometimes you fuck up in life. It's okay. And then the more famous you get, 2 new groups of people start to appear. Group number 1, neutral people. The people who will only occasionally see a clip of maybe something big, an event that you do, or maybe a fucky wucky that you do. Easily swayed people. And the second group is haters. People just they don't like you. They don't like, maybe they were neutral people who saw a clip and then don't like you and then further feel that feeling. Or maybe they just hate you because you use terms like Riz and you're in your mid-20s. That's also possible. And when those 2 groups, all right, the neutral and the hater group, massively outpower the group that likes you, any sort of controversy that might start will overwhelmingly, through the echo chamber, seem a lot worse than it is and then become like a snowball and keep growing. So the reason that I think that if I was in the same position Poki was in, is that it wouldn't get out of control. I don't think that group is so big for me. I'm not that famous. There's not a lot of the neutral and the hater group that if I made cookies that were in people's minds overpriced, they don't get this, they don't get upset because they would be like, who the fuck is...
I mean, like, I guess it's kind of, but what was his explanation? Why does she have such a big hater group compared to like a fan group? Because the weirdest thing about this whole video, in my opinion, is
love him or hate him, Napoleon.
So I'm just giving you approximate spaces in my brain right now, okay? This might not be accurate because, like I said, I only follow, I only do comparisons or analysis of people directly in my content purview, right? So I can tell you about like Hassan's brand image or where he's popular at, or Vosh's image or where he's popular at, because these are people that I track because I'm curious, like how I'm moving compared to them. It's important to understand, I think. But I can't tell you like outside of that, outside of what I see on like LSF. In my mind, I would imagine that Pokimane would have more recognition than Ludwig. I would imagine that more people have heard the name Pokimane than Ludwig. I would imagine that Ludwig probably has more faithful fans because he posts a lot of YouTube content. That's my understanding. Am I wrong on this? My understanding is his YouTube is pretty big. Is it or is it not? Okay, yeah. Oh, he's probably doing shorts. Everybody started doing shorts, but even before shorts, this is a really active big YouTube channel. Okay, so yeah. Plus, I think he streams to what 10, 15, 20,000 viewers. Does he stream still or no? Oh, and he's got like podcasts and shows that he's doing. Sorry. I don't know if he streams anymore. He might not stream anymore, actually. I don't know. Despite everything I just said, right? Which I feel like Poki has a way more like name recognition. There's a question that I find myself asking about Hassan fans a lot, okay? Where are Poki's fans at? Ludwig got 2.3 million views on his Wired video. Why did Poki only get 200,000? That's more surprising to me than any of the likes or the dislikes. But yeah, this is an interesting question. Where are her fans at that they don't engage with this type of content at all? But anyway, okay.
Because Ludwig, we don't give a shit. It wouldn't even hit their radar. Okay, I think a similar thing is happening right now, which maybe we'll talk about another day, with Dream, because he is. Let me tell you, he's got a lot of people who hate him. Now it's different because the Dream and what he's done is not overpricing cookies. We don't got to get into that, but you get what I'm saying. All right, this is my running theory. Okay, now you can infer perhaps why does she have such a large group of people who know about her and also hate her, and that is so much bigger than who like her. Maybe sexism could be at play there. I don't think it's just that simple one-to-one. I think this is my theory. It's my running theory. What do you think about it? I think it's very smart and good. Anyway, I'm going back to my vacation because I'm missing dinner time right now with my family. I hope you have a good day and see you later. Goodbye. And as they say in France, va te faire encuiser à neuf. Okay, ciao.
I'm trying to think of like...
Even behind the scenes, I've never heard it.
Shut up. Here's something that I wonder if it's true or not, and you can't really know unless you see it. Sometimes I wonder, here's a thing that can be true of humans in general. You can have a self-defeating mindset. So you think you suck, you go and you try to do something, and then you suck at it, but like you never even gave it a shot because you thought you sucked initially. And it's like, okay, well, you didn't even try, right? Sometimes women will go into the content creation space, they'll get certain pushback, and they'll be like, well, you have to be this way as a woman. And here's something I wonder. The first question is, are you sure that you're getting a prohibitive amount of pushback, or you're getting a normal amount of pushback? Because guys get pushback too, right? Even if it looks a little different. It can be exclusionary, it can be sexist, whatever. But like, there's going to be some pushback always. So number one. And then number two, are you sure that you had to do this path? Are you sure you couldn't have just been like a guy online? I don't know what the answer to those questions are, but I really wish there would be large women streamers that would just try it and just see how it goes. I'm so curious. I'm so curious what it would look like. I don't even know who I would like point to as an example. Who are like the large women streamers now? Like if Fan and Emily and I don't know. These are the only ones I see on LSF. Are there other large? Like, it would be interesting for women like that to be like, oh, for 2 months, I'm just not going to do makeup for stream. And I'll like do whatever with my hair like I do. I don't even comb my hair sometimes. And then just like stream and do shit. Like, I think that the initial pushback would be really harsh. I think it would be. And you get a lot of shitty comments. But right now, all the women just kind of reinforce that system, unfortunately. But if some of them tried to buck it and then stick with it, not for one day, not for 1 week, just 1 month. I'm so curious if it would change the way that communities like engage with women content creators. But yeah, who knows? Destiny, damn bitch, you're small compared to other streamers. What happened? Your career highlight is a fucking blob video. I'm proud for that to be my career highlight because that's a badass video, motherfucker. That's a good video. We are the Blob King. I don't know why this got almost 2 million views. I mean, someone like Emily talks openly about not showering that often. Well, yeah, but who cares? It's you see her on a screen. You don't smell her, right? Do you think streamer houses or collabs affect how much hate people get? I mean, it could, maybe. I don't know. I doubt it matters that much. Why should the change be that women stop doing makeup and not men should start doing makeup? Not to ride Billie Eilish too much. I don't think women place as much of an emphasis on like men's appearance, so I don't know if they care as much. So I don't know if men are ever realistically going to be pushed that much in that direction because there's not going to be pressure from the female side at all, and I don't know if men care that much how other men look. So I don't think it matters that much. I just don't think it'll happen that much. Whereas women have a ton of pressure from men and a ton of pressure then from women to look a certain way. So men definitely care how other men look. Women care less. But when they care, they're often mean about it. I listen, maybe I'm self-reporting because me and my friends are slobs or whatever, but like I've never gone out with a guy friend and they're like, oh my God, we're in the same outfit, or, you know, where did you get that? We don't even have many accessories. What do we have? Fucking watches? Where did you get that watch, bro? Oh my God, those shoes are so cute. Actually, I have heard Sneeko talk about that. Oh my God. I didn't even know this. I hate that I know this. I hate that I know this. Did you know that? Because I think Sneeko and Fresh were talking about this in the elevator, one of the Fresh and Fit things. Okay, man, I'm about to self-report again, okay? Did you know that guys will buy nice shoes and then try hard not to like walk in them in a way that creases them? Like you try to pick your foot up and walk so that you don't crease the shoe. Bro, I was listening to them talking like this and I was like, if this is not simulacra, I've never, oh my God. Destiny, that's totally normal. Yeah, okay, yeah, I don't know. I'm in a way, it's called duck walking. I'm in a way different world. Wasn't there a study that came out that showed that attractiveness actually plays more of a role for men professionally? I'm trying to think of if I would intuit that or if I would oppositely intuit. I'm also trying to think of like what would count as attractiveness, because I think for one of the huge issues with attractiveness, and nobody realizes this for some stupid reason, one of the huge things about attractiveness is attractiveness is oftentimes, it can be a huge function of money, and people will associate like wealthier people as, oh my God, they're just prettier. They are prettier. Wealthier people do look prettier than you. They do. That's a fact. But it's not genetic. It's because they usually have good dental care. They have better diets. They take care of their children as they're growing up. They've had access to things like Accutane and shit. Like, yeah, they do look better. Oh, but anyway, for Pokemon, I think she should just be genuine on stream for like a month and be like, fuck this PR shit. But also, I don't even know what she's doing. I don't know if she's like making her way out of streaming or what her like content creation goals even are anymore. I have no idea. So men's comments about appearance are rarely ever about clothes. Most of the time, especially if you hang around gym people, it's about actual bodily appearance. Yeah, but again, like women and even guys I don't think they like care that much. It's hard to argue this point because my social experience is greater than most. So I have a lot of different groups of friends I'm talking to people, but I am arguing from anecdote. But I don't have to just fight against your guys' anecdotes. I also have to fight against like the weird like black pill shit that you guys have all absorbed from like red pill people. So sometimes I don't know if I'm like boxing shadows or if it's like actual lived experiences from people. Like there are guys I've met that will swear to God that they've never girl in their life because they're 5'11" and they're not 6 feet tall, and it's like, I'm sorry, bro, but no woman will ever turn you down because of 1 inch, okay? Unless it's my inch, yeah, boy. But like there are people that will swear to their life on this shit, and I think a lot of it is like functioning as because of all like the peripheral red pill shit. That's, yeah. One time I was fighting about the height thing on Twitter for like a full day. Oh yeah, guys will never let that one go. But I always said that, which was funny to me. I went to an all boys high school, and it wasn't until I was 20, even in the early days of streaming, I think it was like 24 or 25 when I realized how much guys gave a fuck about height. And up to that point in my life, I thought I was 5'7". I never realized how much guys obsess over height. And I had so many friends that were girls that like, and I had a fucking kid and all that, you know, multiple girlfriends, and I had marriage technically, and I had no idea that guys were so obsessed over being 6 feet taller. Right? It was like, I feel like I'm like 5'7". I was actually 5'8". I didn't realize it, but I was like, I'm 5'7". I've never in my life thought about this before. But I think guys' brains get so poisoned from online shit. 5'4". Okay, if you're at the extremes, then you probably do have issues. I would agree with that. So like, for instance, I would say guys can get away with being fat even, and like you can still do pretty well. But if you're like 500 pounds, no, right? Yeah. If you're a guy and you're like under, I'd say probably, my guess would be 5'6" is where you start to run into a lot of problems, and then below that, it's gonna be pretty rough from there, because now you're in like an extreme for sure. Yeah, it's not Jover for you guys though. You can do it. Just find short queens, all right? Don't use dating apps to figure your shit out. On a dating app, if you had an option between 5,000 women that were all trying to fuck you would start filtering retarded shit too, right? Like, I want to filter all women whose boobs aren't exactly symmetrical. I want to filter all women whose noses are too pointy. Like, you would start doing that too if you had 5,000 like women that were all trying to fuck you. Don't try to take the world of dating apps that are super skewed, that are ultra skewed in terms of gender representation, and then try to like extrapolate that to the ordinary population. That's retarded. So where do I find girls? Make friends in high school. Otherwise, good luck. You're f***ed. Have you never heard women talk about height before? I've known a lot of women who shit talk their friends' BFs behind their back because the man is short. I have never in my entire life heard that. Here is. I was trying to explain this yesterday on Keeper Cake, but fuck me. I don't even know how to do this now. F my voice. This is okay. This is how it feels like it works to me. And I could be wrong, but no offense. I would take my social inclinations over any of you ask me motherfuckers, okay? This is what it feels like to me. When a guy's character is bad, everything becomes up for grabs in terms of insulting, right? So if you find out that I can see this conversation happening, okay? Girl's cheating on her boyfriend, he is abusive, blah, blah, blah. Her friends are like, F that dude. He's probably got a 2-inch dick. I've seen this guy, he's f***ing balding, okay? He's a fat fuck, all right? He's got a weird stutter lisp when he f***ing talks, okay? Your boyfriend's trash, he should be your ex, right? Because of the bad behavior though, okay? But like, if the guy has a lot of good qualities or good characteristics, all of a sudden, all those other things start to change, right? Oh, I love my boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, he reminds me of a teddy bear. He looks like so cute and cuddly. I think that like the little like lisp thing that he has is like kind of cute, blah, blah, blah. Like I've heard these conversations before, right? So women will go after men's characteristics, but it's always like, it seems like it's always a function of the character. That's what it feels like. Now, there's going to be extreme edge cases here, right? If you're no offense, but if you're a guy, you're literally like 5'2", okay, you might run into problems. If you're literally 600 pounds, you might run into problems. But it feels like for men, a lot of the, especially insults related to physical appearance are going to be a function of, the guy's character. For women, it feels like it's a lot harder to overcome those physical characteristics, and they can become defining, to where like if that fat with no ass, a guy being like, okay, yeah, but she's like super caring. She's like a super wonderful woman. Like she supports me a lot. Like, bro, your bitch is fat as f***. What are you talking about? Like, bro, this chick is disgusting, right? Like it's a lot harder for a woman to overcome because I think they can more easily be defined by, their physical characteristics. It's really hard to overcome that sometimes, depending on the setting, I guess, yeah. Somebody said, height can obviously give you a chance with some women, but people pretending they can't get anyone because of height alone is a cope. I'm 5'3", 200 pounds, not attractive. I always have a girlfriend. Wow, good job, buddy. Oh my God. This is one other thing that I'm so curious about. I think either Dr. K or a dating coach, I heard somebody bring this up, and I'm actually so curious. I don't know how you begin to investigate this. I wonder if confidence can beget more confidence, and lack of confidence can beget a lack of confidence, such that like once you go down a road, it's super hard to like rebound back. So for instance, if you take two individuals that have the exact same levels of charisma, like literally every stat, except one is more physically attractive than the other, and then you send them down the same road, you send them down two different roads. I wonder if at the end of their life, the more attractive guy he's funnier, more socially aware, more talented. Every single aspect is higher than the ugly guy. But it's not necessarily like a function of his attractiveness. It's just that because he was attractive, maybe he got away with a few more stupid jokes, or people were more likely to approach him initially or something like that. And because that like built in and kind of like reinforced some confidence triggers like in his brain, like later in life that like continued to compound and reinforce until he's not actually just relying on his looks. He actually is like really charming, really funny, like really everything else. But it's because he got so much good practice and building on it earlier on, because of the attractiveness earlier on. So then by the end of these two lives, you get one guy that because of the experiences and the practice he's got, he's like, he actually is funnier and everything else than the other guy. But it's not because of his physical attractiveness, but it kind of is because of his physical attractiveness early on. Yeah. But yeah, but I don't even know how you could even begin to test something like that. I'm not sure. Is this not the halo effect? Is it? Is that what it's called? Dr. K covers this exactly. So the lesson is learn to unrealistically fake confidence seems to always work. Well, I mean, there's a little bit of truth to fake it till you make it, right? I've said this before and I'll say it again. One of the most important like dating lessons that I ever learned was getting shot down by a girl in college when I was, I think 19, because I built up asking her out so hard in my head. And it was like, I was friends with this chick for like 2 or 3 months, and I was like really scared about asking her. I was like, what if she says no, blah, 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 blah. So I just like be friends with her. But then eventually I asked, and I was like, I need to, I'm not just going to be in limbo forever. And then I asked, and she was already dating a tenor sax guy. Fuck me. Okay, he had a bigger saxophone. I had an alto. That guy. Yeah, she's like, sorry, I'm already blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. But then the nice thing about like asking somebody out and getting shot down is that you ask them out, you get shot down, and it sucks for like a day, but then you're over it. It's like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's like having the confidence from that interaction, let me shoot my shot with like way more people and be like way more flirty. Because I'm like, what's the worst that could happen? A girl's gonna tell me she's not interested? Okay, who cares, right? Like, yeah, having that negative experience, positive experience, having that experience like helped me in the future, you know, like flirting with other chicks. I think the experiences are really important, yeah. In my opinion, before you get to the elevator speech, most people base everything on how you present yourself. Do you carry yourself confidently? Don't look crusty, etc. Yeah, that probably helps. Yeah, for sure. Not seeming desperate is so important. Yeah, of course. In my opinion, hold on. There's so much like social awareness baked into these things I'm saying that if you're autistic, it's gonna mind you. If you live in ambiguity and eventually that doesn't work out, the mechanisms in your brain to course correct or figure your shit out will not kick in. If you like play frenzy with a girl for a year and eventually she starts dating somebody else, then what are you gonna fix? Like, what are you even gonna course correct on? What are you gonna iterate on in your next approach? Like, okay, well, I tried being friends with a girl for a year and I didn't make any explicit moves, and now she's with somebody else. Like, me, you're just gonna get depressed and be a loser. But if you ask somebody, you know, point blank, yo, you want to go get coffee or something? And they're like, and I was like, oh, okay, she's not interested in me. Okay, talk to somebody else then. At least you didn't waste the time. And again, it shows you that like, okay, well, them saying no is not the end of the world. And then you don't build up some idealized version of this person in your head and you move on to the next person, you know? It's not about making you lose confidence. Sometimes you just didn't have confidence before and you continue to not have if you don't have confidence and your whole life is then everything is going to be anyway, so who cares? I felt this way for a long time. I think since I was 15 or 16. I think the most important thing in your life, the most important quality you can have is high self-confidence. If you don't have that, I don't know how to fix it. Good luck. But that's like literally the most important thing that you can ever work on. Nothing else in your life is going to matter past that, and there's no way to fake that. Or you can fake it to make it to build it, but like you got it. Yeah, holy shit, Jesus. I think this type of shit only happens if you're autistic as fuck. For most girls, getting asked out by a guy that you're not like, you don't see that way, is kind of an awkward experience too. They're not going to sit there and like blow it up in a huge thing because it's awkward for both of you. Like both of you just kind of want to like move on. The way that you get responses like this is if you lie, you try to befriend a girl for 6 months and then you try to make a move. Then everything's going to feel weird. She's going to be like, ooh, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. But that was your fault from the beginning. I don't know how to explain this, and I wish I did, because if I did, I would just be a pickup artist coach, okay? But there are some men that I feel like, these are my feelings, I could be wrong, I'm not wrong, I know I'm not wrong on this, I'm sorry. There are some men that like, I don't know how to explain this. I don't know how to explain it. I can just tell you what I see. I don't know how to explain why it happens, okay? When I interact with women, I think I have a naturally flirty demeanor, okay? Like the door for like a romantic or sexual relationship is basically always open because it's just the way that I engage with people. I have a very flirty demeanor. I'm very like playful and fun, really bantery, like obviously interested in more, blah, blah, blah. Like I think I have that vibe when I communicate with women for whatever reason. I just do. I don't know why. I don't know what makes it work that way, but I know I do. There are some guys and I see the way that they talk to women and I don't know how to explain it, but like even sometimes before they've spoke, I'm like, bro, you are radiating plutonic asexuality. And it's not that they're not even necessarily being like creepy or they're not doing anything wrong or bad. They're not like saying the wrong words. But for some reason they just like radiate like plutonic asexuality. I don't know why. I'm not sure. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I wish I could like figure out like what makes it different I wish I could figure out like what the behavior was or what the vibe was or whatever. Yeah. Destiny, you're so wrong. The last girl I asked out literally freaked out and called the police on me after I cued her car. Based. I bet Destiny can't get any numbers on the street without bringing up his streaming credentials. I don't understand why people always use this against me as some sort of own. Why? You're one of the most famous like streamers slash YouTube political people in the world, but I bet if you didn't tell people that, nobody would like you. Yeah, probably not, because then I would just be a random 34-year-old that's done nothing else with my life for the past 15 years. What the fuck would I say to somebody? What do you do for work? Nothing. Oh, well, what have you done with your whole life? Nothing. Like, yeah, no shit. I'm going to bring up what I've invested, you know, the entirety of my adult life career into. No shit. Why would I not bring that up? What the fuck? No, duh. That's such a straw man. No, it's not gisticle. It's a fucking cope on your end, right? Why would being successful in an industry not be something I would fucking brag about? No shit, I would. Because nobody here is doubting that it's a good strategy or correct. You're using it to validate advice to people who don't have your success in an industry. Okay, I mean, I get it. We can always play this game if you want. Like, I was married once in high school, okay, after bouncing between 3 different women in the same friend group that I dated. And then I had a child with another woman. This was before I ever even touched a fucking stream. And that was when I was working in a fucking casino as a music school student from a broke-ass fucking brokey family. I mean, if you think that it's just because I'm a streamer, or if you think, oh, well, that's just like 2 or 3 or 4 girls, like, who cares? I mean, if you want to make excuses your whole life, knock yourself out, but like, I don't know what you want to say. Like, did I do as well when I was in college? No, obviously not, but I was also trying to struggle to survive. Like, Jesus, yeah, I didn't do as well, obviously. But it's not like I was a fucking incel until I became a streamer. Like, oh my God, now I finally have girls DMing me on Instagram. Like, I like relationships with women, but I hate sex. It's gross to me. Bro, welcome to homosexuality, my friend. Just be gay and have women that are friends. So you talked about befriending a woman and then asking her out as being bad. So this is a genuine good faith question. Why would anyone go out with you if they barely know you? Genuinely, I don't know. Okay, listen. All of this is vague cuck shit. I don't know how to explain this, okay? There's nothing wrong with befriending a woman and then like trying to make moves, but it's like you have to have that vibe the entire time, right? Like, generally, even for me, I tend to not enjoy just one night stands. Like, I prefer to have people that I'm like friendly with. Like, even girls that I'm having sex with are people I've like spoken a long time on Discord with. Generally, like, I have like some sort of friendship here. But so it's not bad to like be friends with somebody and then fuck them, but you can't like be friends with somebody emitting like ultra asexual energy and then try to pivot that into a sexual relationship. That just doesn't work, if that makes sense. But Destiny, they were Nebraska 8s, not Miami 10s. Bro, despite all the women that I've ever been with in my entire fucking life and all that blah, 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 I would much rather a Midwest 8 than any of the disgusting like bags of plastic that walk around. The women on this beach are legitimately fucking disgusting to me. And I hate the fact that you fucking loser incel fucks are somehow dictating so many of the beauty standards that women have around here. It is actually disgusting, bro. I have to be careful what I say because some women I hook up with might get offended. I'm just kidding. I love all of you. Okay, but the difference is if I've ever had sex with you in real life, I love all the parts of your body, okay? But realistically, bro, like trying to kiss a girl with like lip fillers, like the huge ones, the massive dog legs, I can't even do it. I can't even do it, bro. It's fucking wild. And you're trying to touch a woman's like fake boobs and you're getting like some fucking, yeah, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. It's disgusting, okay? And you guys have like turned this into like the beauty standards. It's insane. It was a reference to the Boogie quote. I know, I was referring to another Boogie quote, okay? Wait, is it incels? Don't incels parrot your retarded ass makeup is stupid? Like, yeah, 90s all porn stars looking plastic are gross, but I don't know incels say that. Well, but when I say makeup is dumb, I legitimately don't like it because I'm not a guy that doesn't know what women look like, okay? It's a different thing, okay? Oh, evidence also suggests that physical attractiveness, including during adolescence, is associated with greater self-confidence and optimism, which in turn can facilitate the attainment of higher SEP, socioeconomic, when compared with parents. I'm sure being more attractive probably does convey a bunch of advantages to you. Like when I'm asking these questions about this, I'm not trying to rule out attractiveness at all. Hold on. That's not true because I like my intelligence. I was gonna say if I could choose to max out like one stat in life for a better life, I would do physical attractiveness, but that's not true. It would be IQ. And then after that would be physical attractiveness. Absolutely. When do you find opportunities to flirt? Does it normally flow seamlessly with normal conversation? Like I can't answer that question. Usually it's seamless. Flirting should always be seamless, but like it's also gonna depend on like who you're talking to and what you're talking about. And it's gonna depend on their attitude as well. Like there are some people that I I'm just not feeling it for some reason. I'm trying to think if I can think of examples. When Jasmine and her friend were over here, the two girls that did OnlyFans and then the lawyer girl, I was gonna say, like, I didn't flirt with the middle friend at all, but it was also probably because Jasmine was a lot louder there. I don't know what that would be like in a one-on-one. How much IQ would you give it to be a Giga Chad? Can you spare 5 to 10? I don't know. I think being smart is really important, especially in my line of work. So, although being a Giga Chad would probably give me a lot of credibility too, so who knows. What's the type of girl that wouldn't be interested in you at all? I mean, like, probably tons of types. There's probably gonna be a lot of archetypes I don't even know about. So, like, for instance, if I killed all of the social media information and I went to LA to try to get laid, I've done this before. I did it for 3 years. I know I could do it. 1,000,000%. I had done it. And I can actually do like pretty decently if I'm putting in a lot of work on the app. Like I can find, like I fuck girls that surprised me, not putting any of my social media stuff on there. In Miami Beach, I would have to go over to Miami proper and find like girls that are like, I say at the college, but that's kind of creepy now because I'm 34. I don't know if I could fuck any girls on Miami Beach. Without my prior internet stuff. I don't know if I could find a single girl out here because my area of interest and the archetype and the personality and everything I have is so far off the norm. Because when I say college girl, I'm thinking there's a lot of girls, for whatever reason, the most common college girl I usually have fun with is like girls going to law school or girls that just came out of law school for whatever reason. Technically that's a master's degree, but like people that like are a little bit more intelligent, a little bit more conscientious, a little bit more snarky, a little bit more independent. Like those are the types of girls, like I can make like jokes and shit and they're gonna like laugh and vibe or whatever. But I feel like if I were to try to have that same sort of approach here in Miami Beach, if I was being autistic and I tried to like play, if we say like play game on any of these girls, I think they're just gonna look at me as like kind of a weird, creepy dude. Like how much time do you spend on your computer again? Like you live in Miami Beach and you don't ever go to the beach at all? Like what do you like? Why are you even here? Like it would be that sort of thing. With the exception of if I can find women that moved here to crypto bros. Maybe I could get those women, yeah. But then also archetypes of like girls that are looking for super shredded dudes, girls that like actually do want like 6 foot plus guys, girls that are looking for like more kind of like jockey type dudes. Yeah, like all of those women are gonna be probably almost completely out of my reach without me like try to be like run significant game. And by significant game, I mean like I'm talking about my career, the amount of money I make. I'm showing up in a rented Lamborghini or Bugatti. I'm like doing bottle service at like a table that I've got reserved at like, it would have to be like, I'd have to try it like really hard. You know, I don't even, and even at that, I'm not like, they would just f me to get access to that money and shit or whatever, yeah. How do you counter your height take with the study would show that height didn't really change body count that much for men? What do you mean? Doesn't that reinforce what I'm saying? That it's like, it doesn't matter that much? Do you talk a lot on dating apps? I barely hold a conversation by getting a number. I talk a bit. I think in California, I'd probably chat for like a day, maybe 2. But not like, I don't think I would ever do a lot. I think if you're doing like, careful what I'm saying, by the way. Maybe because also, remember, it was like 3 years since I've been in California. And also, maybe the Tinder game is different out there than here. But like, if you're chatting with, I don't know if I ever fucked a girl that I chatted with for more than 3 days on a dating app. I don't think so. I radiate asexual energy almost as bad as irrelevant. How do I stop this from happening? I don't know, dude. I really don't. I wish I could help you. I have no idea. I don't know why some people do. Jesus, that says a lot about the women. Does it? Let's see. Let me think. Let's see. We can do a bullshit graph for this. This would be my feeling. Okay. How can we turn this into a bullshit graph? Okay. My feeling would be that this up here is how much a girl has to like your profile to match with you, okay? If she matches with you, you're matched. That's good, okay? This is about how much a girl would probably have to like you to talk to you, like in texting or I'm sorry, like on the DMing. And this is how much a girl would have to like you to see you in person, okay? But these bars probably don't change that much if you stay in these areas that long. Like if a girl's matched with you, you're at least here. You're at least here, right? And then once you start talking, I think very quickly you'll get settled, you know, like from here to, you know, here. If it drops below, she'll just unmatch you immediately, right? You'll settle somewhere here. But like, once you start talking, if she's decided that she likes you like this much, I don't think any amount of conversation after like, you know, 30 messages is gonna move you past this. I don't think it's gonna happen. So if you've chatted for, you know, several, I don't want to say several messages because that might be a little bit too soon, but if you chatted for a day on an app and they won't give you a phone number, then you know you're not up to here to meet, so like don't waste your time. That'd be my take on it. That'd be my guess. I don't know what it is, but like, I don't know how or why it turned out this way. I guess it's a funny quirk of technology and evolution. I feel like I can find out, I feel like I can feel a lot about a person through the way that they text. Like, I feel like I can feel that pretty hardcore. I think women probably can too. Like, the way that you text and message says a lot about your personality. It's worth working on, I would say. Is there a fine line between horny and creepy? I feel like in all of your things, I'm trying not to make this too red pill, okay? Because red pill guys hit on some truths, but they do it in like the most toxic way possible. I feel like when you're flirting or engaging with somebody, there's two, I don't know how to make this, it's all vibes, bro. There's two things that you want a woman to feel when you're flirting with her, okay? Both of these things are deal breakers. If you either one up, she probably will lose attraction immediately. If you can balance both of these really well, it helps a lot. It's not the deal, it's not the be all and all, but it helps. The first thing, in my opinion, is, and this is especially important for real life flirting, is a girl has to feel like she can walk away at any point in time and it's not gonna be like a fucking fight, okay? That is so fucking important, okay? Don't ever make a woman feel fucking trapped somewhere, okay? It is so cringe. This goes back to the arguments we had about like flirting in where's an appropriate place to flirt, right? You can flirt anywhere you want. You can flirt at a gym, you can flirt in a store, whatever the fuck. But there's a difference between walking by a cashier and being like, hey, that's a nice blouse. I would never say that because I don't know what the fuck a blouse is. Easy cheat codes or dresses are easy, or if a girl has more than one shade of color in her hair, like, oh, nice hair, right? Especially blonde girls, okay? People notice this shit. Yeah, but you say it and you walk away, you're kind of like on your way out, right? The person doesn't feel like they're trapped there, okay? If you are ever giving a compliment to a woman and you're like staying there and your eyes are like drilling into her, you know, like aura, it is the most uncomfortable fucking thing in the world. Even attractive guys that normally wouldn't have problems will fuck their shit up by doing autistic shit like this, okay? Like cornering a fucking girl in a grocery and be like, your dress, it's really nice. And you're like sitting there like expecting her, like she feels like, Jesus, do I have to suck your fucking dick? Like, okay, bro, I got it. Like, so one is, she has to feel like she can walk away at any point in time, okay? And then number two, I don't know how you communicate this, okay? But like, it has to feel like you can walk away at any point in time as well. Now, I think the red pill people call this like an abundance mindset or whatever, but the way that I normally talk about this is like, if you come off as clingy, it's the worst thing in the world. It's bad for guys and girls. Guys that are 10s can tank their chances with a woman by coming off as too clingy. Women that are 10s can tank their chances with guys if they come off as too clingy. Being too clingy is always really, 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 really bad. Desperation, for whatever reason, is a thing that we pick up very quickly and very easily on. And once you've gotten that vibe from somebody, it's almost impossible to get rid of it, because usually when the person realizes that they've given that vibe, one, they were socially unaware enough to do it, and two, they'll try to overcorrect afterwards. So yeah, I would say that those two things are like really important things to keep in mind if you can. But this is all like part of like a whole bunch of other bullshit, and yeah. No advice for women. If you're a woman, approach more. Don't be such a pussy ass, bitch ass motherfucker. Women play so many games. It is so fucking cringe. Stop being a bitch ass, pussy ass, spineless and just approach. It is so cringe. I've listened to so many women, even like friends of mine. I'll listen to women like, oh, like I don't know if he likes me. I don't want to, blah, 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 blah. Bro, just approach and say something. Why the fuck wouldn't you? You make it so much worse for everybody when you don't do that. Yeah. Are emojis a red flag if men use them in texting? No, emojis are awesome, and I love them, and I use them all the time. Hell yeah. But don't use them like a serial killer. So depends on how you do it. Destiny, again, I just disagree. Look at the common conception that you need to do certain things like not answering right away to make someone seem like you have better things going on. No, I mean, I think that's bullshit. I've met women that play fucking games like this on text. I even call it out, like, why the fuck are you doing this? Like, I know you like me. Why the fuck are you waiting 24 hours, like sometimes to the minute to respond to my messages? It's retarded. If I like a girl, we go out and we like have fun. Like, I'll message her that night. Like, f off. I'm not gonna sit here and play retarded games. As long as you both like each other, who cares? The reason why people have the games that they play those because they're worried about coming off as clingy. But if you're gonna come off clingy that night texting her, you're probably gonna come off clingy the next day. Like, fix your clingy issue before you try to like play like weird games or whatever on it, I think. But you know, who knows? What? This subreddit has so much wild shit. Oh man, what is this? I feel like, okay, I'm giving you major vibes. Okay, I'm giving you major vibe talks here, and I could be wrong. Okay, I feel like I've got a good vibe for texting. Okay, I could be wrong. Maybe I don't. I feel like I have a good vibe for texting. I think that typing formal is a mistake. I don't know why, but like periods and capital, it's very, very, very formal. All right. If I'm having a formal conversation, but otherwise, I don't think you should do that. I think it's a bad idea, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Yeah. Haha, all good. To be honest, the drinks was just an excuse to keep hanging out after dinner. I mean, I like lemonade, so I'm easy to keep around. I think you could make this message like a little bit more playful and not as desperate sounding, but like I'm being super nitpicky here. But it was like, okay. The emoji is fine, I think. Just, I would do this message a little different, okay? Why don't you drink? Do you just not enjoy it? Or is there like a bigger reason? Something I would say, this is just kind of like a knowledge thing, be really careful about bringing up substances or alcohol to like women really early on. This throws up a ton of red flags. Be really, 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 really careful about that. When you ask questions about, when you start asking questions about like, I noticed when we went out, you weren't drinking any alcohol at all. Like, oh, do you not like drinking? Or, oh, okay, I think drinking is a lot of fun. Like, do you think, would you drink in the future with me? Like, it makes it sound like you're trying to date, okay? Be very, very, very careful on that. Hard to disagree on that one, Destiny. Educated women often type more formally and appreciate the reciprocation. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure, maybe. I've had multiple of my own BPD girls tell me that the proper grammar punctuation was an actual turn on. Nice, okay. Destiny, it was a whole convo beforehand, but I'm not going to send the whole convo. Wait, did you send this? Is this from your friend? Wait, are you like doxing your friend? Nah, there's no set reason. I just don't like the way it makes me feel dizzy and tingly. That's fair, but kind of sucks because then I can't take advantage of you. Bro, oh my God, use a different emoji. I thought you were f***ing serious, haha. Who said I wasn't? I mean, like, the thing is, I don't know what this guy looks like in real life. When I say looks like, I don't mean like his physical appearance. I mean, I don't know their interactions like, because you can get away with these jokes, but you have to be like, it has to be like your vibe. Like, I say jokes like this all the time, but it's pretty obvious, or is it, that I'm not going to rape the girl, right? Or she doesn't know, right? And if she does, she's not going to remember it, right? So, like, obviously, there are certain types of, like, engagement where you can get away with jokes like this, but, like, yeah, I haven't seen the rest of their messages, or I don't know what they look like in real life, so I have no fucking idea, right? If there's, like, a good joke or not. I would say be very, 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 very careful employing rape riz, because it can go very wrong very quickly. I would say probably don't do it if you don't know if you can do it or not, you know? It ended up on this subreddit. No, apparently that was from Amumu's friend or whatever. I'm at 5'5" and below in body count. The study really showed it didn't change body count that much, so does it really matter? I mean, it changed it a little bit, actually. At the extremes are where it changed the most. Extremely fat, extremely skinny, and then extremely, but it wasn't that much. It was like 3 or 4 partners, I think. Destiny, no, it was me, not my friend. Oh, good job, Amumu. I feel like you can only make jokes like this in real life. Yeah, also real life helps too, because then if they try to run, you can just grab it. No, yeah, because you can like... What is this? Why are we doing this now? I want to call while we work so we can be coworkers, but I think that would be anti-productive. Bahahaha. It would be for sure. I still want it. I bet you do want it. Ha, of course I do. These are telling actions of someone who could be madly in love with someone, but alas, they're unrequited. Is It's unrequited, right? Commits honorable suicide by Bushido Code. Hurry while writing me. What? I mean, these guys both sound like nerds. It's probably fine, right? It's probably, they seem like they're both into it. Who cares? Hi, what's up? I'm bored. Hello, everything okay? Bro, what are we doing? Bro. Bored, do you want to go to the show with me this weekend? No thanks, don't take this personally, but I wouldn't feel comfortable hanging out with a friend who's under 18. Could you please only message me about work things? Sorry, I don't even remember sending them. I was drunk and high. I had f***ed up night. I suppose I should explain why I got so f***ed up. I almost died. Some cut my car's brakes. Now he's dead. By the way, I'm 17 and it's illegal. Riz. Destiny, I would be extremely disgusted to date someone shorter than me. So does all my girlfriends. Good for you, Carla. But you want to know what? You want to know some real ass shit? Everybody fucking lies about who they would date. Here's the ultimate, the chemistry pill, okay? People will say so many retarded things, but I'd never date somebody who's a Trump supporter. I'd never date somebody who's this height. I'd never date a black guy or girl, blah, blah, blah. But if you meet the right motherfucker, you will date them. And you'll have 50 million code reasons why. Well, at least he's like, it's not like that, or blah, blah, blah. You'll have, everybody will meet the right person. There are so many motherfucking, it's women especially, probably men too, but I don't talk to men romantically. So many women I met who's like, I'm not looking to date anybody in my life right now, so I'm just trying to stay single. And whoops, I slipped into a new relationship in 2 weeks. I've met so many women that say stupid shit like this. I'm just not looking for a boyfriend right now. No, that's code word for it. You haven't found somebody that you want to date right now. That's what that means every fucking time. Every fucking time. Every time. 102% of the time. Destiny, you're objectively wrong. 90% of wives are shorter than their husbands. Isn't that just like statistically true? Like, what is the percentage of women that are shorter than men? Like, yeah, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, I've always read that as, I just don't want to date you. Oh, I mean, that means that too, if somebody tells you that, yeah. If you're trying to flirt or date them and they're like, I'm just not looking for somebody right now, it means they're not looking for you, yeah. Do people actually go to you for dating advice, LOL? Or don't, I don't care. Why would you, I don't know why anybody would take dating advice from me. I've only had like 5 1+ year relationships. Why wouldn't you just go to like a red pill guy who's never had a real relationship his entire life? Would like go ask them for dating advice if you want that. Also, nothing that we're doing here is dating advice. This is all just like pick up shit. But listen, if you don't want to take my advice on anything, then you don't have to take my advice on anything. Knock yourself out, dude. Go talk to some dude who tells you that OnlyFans models are whores and then them as soon as the camera's off. I mean, knock yourself out, dude. I don't give a I've never met a woman in real life with a height requirement. Oh, Lauren up. Don't ever use words like never or always. You're always setting yourself up for a wait. I just did it. No, I will. There are no absolutes. Absolutely. Never use words like never or always, because you're always setting yourself up for a well, actually. Don't do that. There are some women with height requirements. They exist. It's just like a minority, I think. And a lot of them are more flexible than they realize. Same thing with men. Have any tips on avoiding looking clingy? Have some goddamn shame. If you're sending like more than 3 messages in a row, don't do that. If you're like sending like, if you're ever sending passive aggressive messages because they're not responding fast enough, don't do that. I don't know. Do you act differently in group settings compared to one-on-one? Yeah, of course. I'm way different in group settings versus one-on-one. But it's a totally different vibe, bro. Do you think an improv class would be helpful in opening up? Maybe. I wouldn't take Destiny's dating advice, but I sure as fuck wouldn't take any advice. Red Pillar's advice is just objectively awful. Destiny's advice just wouldn't work for me right now. Bomb is. Okay, talk to me, Chief. What am I saying that you don't think would work for you right now? Let me know. We'll tailor it just to you, buddy. Men have a really hard time with this one too. When a woman says she prefers something, that doesn't necessarily mean it's like exclusionary, right? It's really weird that we treat like women's preferences as like hard nose. Like if a woman's like, I prefer a guy that's over 6 feet, every guy here's like, oh, she won't even with a guy who's like 5'11" and a half. Like that's not what that means. Like I prefer a woman who's a Rockefeller, but like it doesn't mean I'm gonna marry a woman who's not, fucking loaded. many men shorter than yourself have you dated? I also like how people will ask questions like this. This question, by the way, I've seen this set up so many times. I've seen this set up so many times on dating shows. This question is always a lose-lose, because you either say, one, well, I've never dated a guy shorter than me. Pfft, see, so you wouldn't give those men a chance. Or two, you say, yeah, I've dated like 2 or 3 guys in the past who were shorter than me. Yeah, but you didn't stay with them. They were too short. It's always a lose-lose. There's like no good way to answer this question. Also, the average woman is 5'4". It's possible just by virtue of like dating random guys. You just never run into a guy shorter than you, right? That's pretty exceptional. I'm trying to think if a 5'4" less guy is 10th percentile or 5th percentile. Percentiles of height for men. It's probably pretty rare to find guys that are that short. Let's check. 5'4" male. Is this 4th percentile? Is that what that means? So, Jesus. So this means that if you date 20 different guys, statistically speaking, you might not even ever have dated a guy who's shorter than you. Like, 5'5" is 8th. Damn, how short am I? Hold on. 34th. Okay, I'll take it. All right. 6 foot is 84th percentile. Okay. Does being a sex freak make your advice better due to having so much experience, or worse since you're so removed from the norm? Well, having sex with people is different than pursuing relationships with people. These are 2 totally different skill sets. There's a bit of overlap, kind of. And kind of not really. It just depends what you're talking about. But there's like... Wait, hold on. This motherfucker. Would you agree that women are just as retarded and desperate as men in terms of dating? It's just masked by them usually having interest reciprocated more than men? What, are you serious? Can you not do this? Wait, hold on. Oh, never mind. Okay, fuck this. Bombiz responded. I mostly just need to work on myself right now. I need to work on fixing my ADHD shit and becoming more independent before I actually start dating. Oh, well, that's probably fine. Sure. I think there are some people that need to do work on themselves before they date, but people never do. But I mean, that's definitely true, yeah. Important to know that there's no specific point in time when you're ready to date. Best to just jump right into it. Some people get trapped in working on themselves forever. Maybe. I mean, it just depends on what you need to work on. There are definitely people I know that should not be dating. Should not be dating. Destiny, how do you flirt with men? Like as a man or as a woman? Like romantically or just to fuck? There's like 2 different ways to go about that, I think. Living on your own and owning a car are probably 2 fundamental things you could do right away to be ready to date. Yeah, but those can be hard things to do. Living on your own, just go buy a house, bro. But that is true. Having a level of independence. I think that for, I would say that confidence, it's always confidence, it's always important. Independence is probably a pretty good trait as a man to exhibit, to show that you're like a separate thing. I think that's an attractive quality. Why no advice for women? I don't know. Women have a totally different set of dating problems, I think, than men do. And it also, just depends. What do you think of the dating problems that women face? What are the dating problems that women face? Let's think. One issue is like how men get friend zoned or whatever. Women can get zoned. If you're trying to date a guy romantically, I think it can be worth it to put off sex a little bit to try to filter out guys that are only interested in sex. And a lot of women sometimes have trouble with that. Yeah, so that's one issue. Sometimes women will delude themselves into thinking a guy likes her, but not realize that the guy's just keeping her around for sex. And when he is nice or says nice things, it's because some women are better at picking up on this. Like if you've got a guy that you're super into and he's only texting you at like 12:30 at night, like bro, like yeah, get out. That's dumb. What else? I think sometimes women, bro, my advice here is so anecdotal. Keep in mind that like the majority of my experiences as a guy going after women, so like women to women or women to men are going to be way different, and my advice here might be a lot more individualized or skewed because of my stories or my anecdotes. I tend to think that women gas up women too much, and I think sometimes women need to have better friends that can like rein them in to reality a little bit more, because I've seen women, not to name names, Kelly and Zena, I'll look at women send other women into I'm sorry, oh my god, my brain just exploded, because sometimes when I hang out with girls, I'll like call their friends or they're chatting with friends and I'll hear them talk about guys. I hear women do this shit all the time, and then I've lost one friend over this before because I couldn't help myself. Oh my god, she was just giving her friend the worst advice. This guy that her friend was chasing on the phone clearly was not interested. It was so obvious. She's like, yeah, we hung out once. He hasn't returned my calls like in a week though, but then on Friday he wanted to like do something and blah, blah, blah. And I'm listening to this girl talk. It's like, yeah, you know, maybe he's just shy or he doesn't know what's up or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, yeah. And at some point I was like, can I say something? Can I talk? Cause I don't always want to, cause sometimes I know other friends another with a guy or whatever. And she's like, yeah, sure. And I was so triggered by both of these chicks by the end. She's like, no, sometimes guys are shy, like blah, blah. I was like, bro, this guy wouldn't, shy on text? Are you retarded? Like, I know you guys are like 23, but like, Jesus Christ, you sound like 9-year-olds. How stupid are you? The guy can't return a text. The guy didn't want to, like the girl offered to go out to drinks after dinner. And the guy said, no, what the is this guy doing? He's a rocket scientist? Does he have to go build the next Mars rover? Why is he turning down drinks with this chick? Like, he's clearly not interested. It was so obvious. I don't know how ubiquitous that is between girls and girls, but yeah, I've heard girls. I never talked to that girl again after that weekend. She was really mad. We got into a huge argument after that conversation because she was like, why do you always think that, because they always flip it around on me. This bitch. If you're listening though, I love you and I'm not talking about you, okay? If you're listening, I still like you and DM me at some point, okay? Because you were really hot. This girl, they always do this thing to me because we start arguing after she hangs out with her friend and she's like, oh, like, I feel like you're being way too harsh to my friend. Like, she really liked this guy. And I'm like, okay, well, you're wasting your friend's time. And she's like, okay, well, that guy, like, I've met him before. He was legitimately shy. And I'm like, bro, this guy is not going to turn down going out to drinks with this girl if he really likes her. You don't understand. If the guy likes her, think about what you would do in that. Even as a woman, you wouldn't turn that down if you were like, it's not like the guy's worried about getting date. What security concern does he have? And then they always, when I argue with women, they always do this thing. It's like, oh, actually, even my chat does it. She's like, oh, well, just because every guy is not like the most forward fucking guy like you and is asking to by like the third DM doesn't mean that they're not interested. And I was like, excuse me, you ass be number one, you DM me, bitch. Okay, number one. And number two, yeah, it kind of does. If the girl is offering and the guy's shutting her down, you think this guy's filtering out for his future wife? What, do these people meet in a church group? What the fuck are these people? They met on Tinder, motherfucker. What do you mean the guy's shooting her down for drinks, but he's still super interested? Yeah, fuck that. I got so triggered. That was the last day we were hanging out though, and then I've never talked to that girl again. I don't even remember her. That conversation triggered the fuck out of me. Anyway, sorry. I think that girls give other girls bad advice sometimes. That's what I mean. Sometimes they gas each other up way too much. God damn. That triggered me. Anyway. I agree with what you said earlier, but that might become too much of a hurdle. If you idealize what you should be to be worthy of dating, you might never start dating, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but still. When I say be worthy of dating or like help yourself before you date, I just mean that like you should be relatively happy on your own. You should have your own sense of hobbies and interests and friends, and a partner, in my opinion, a partner should be a bonus to your life. Like, you have a partner in it, it's like completing, it's like a bonus, it's like awesome. It's not like you're desperately sad, lonely, miserable with no friends, and now you find a partner who becomes your sole source of validation and happiness. It is, the sad thing about this is, one, not only you wasting their time and your time, because that relationship's never gonna last. Two, it might actually be a good partner for you, but you're gonna be so desperate and clingy and looking at them for everything that relationship's gonna fail because you didn't have your own shit going on. I would say, like, broadly speaking, yeah, working on yourself is important if you're like way too obsessive or clingy in relationships, or like you're second guessing your partner all the time. You're like trying to like accuse them of cheating all the time, bro. I was talking to this one girl who hung out with her family on Thanksgiving, and she missed like 40 phone calls from her long distance boyfriend who was like, I know, like, you've never been to this address before. I know you're f***ing dudes right now. And the girl was like, he was like drinking wine with her f***ing grandma on like Thanksgiving dinner or whatever. I'm like, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's Dr. K completely disagrees with you.
Best time to find a partner is when you are in the work.
You sound hypocrite due to Rachel and Melina. What do I sound hypocrite on? What part?
Best time to find a partner is when you are in the worst place in life. That way they will love you for you. And then when you become successful, they will support you. So this is the crazy thing. If you are not successful yet and you find someone that is willing to accept and love you, that love and support will help you grow into success. Everyone is, I want to become successful over here. I want to have dating over here. This is my life over here. This is my love life over here. But the two should be joined. That is what a life is. To build a life with someone is through better or for worse, right?
I mean, I think I largely agree, but I mean, he's talking about something a little different here, right? Like, he's not talking like, if you're saying like, I want to be a CEO of a company before I date, then that's obviously that's stupid, right? But if you're like, every single time I get a new partner, I accuse them of cheating 50 million times, then you should work on some shit because you're sabotaging your relationships. I think he was mocking bad Indian parents. Okay, maybe. I still think the advice here is okay. Do you know why Darius is good at picking up but bad at relationships? Darius is a really good mix of masculine and feminine traits. I think masculine traits can be really good for getting laid, and feminine traits can. Feminine traits are really good for getting laid and really, really good for getting into relationships. And Darius, I think, has a decent balance of those. But that doesn't mean you'll be a good partner. It just helps you like get into a relationship. Oh, why are we looking at this dude's ass? Oh yeah, Darius is also a huge boy, so that's also another problem. What are those traits? I think important masculine traits are being, you have to do these without doing them too much. Being assertive, being polite. This is so wild to me. I don't know how much this is my Nebraska background. I was hanging out with a friend who's from Oregon. I don't know if I'm doxing people. Oregon, like a week or two ago. And I'm pretty big on like opening doors and shit for people, especially women. Why the fuck would I not do that? I think I even said that to her. I opened the door for her and she's like, oh, guys in like Oregon don't do this that much. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? It's free points. And she's like, what do you mean it's free points? I'm like, it's free pussy points. Why would I not open a door for you? I can do this shit all day. I'm so good at opening doors. There are so many small things that you can do. There are so many small things. This is like, bro, this is for men and women, but women, you don't have to worry about it as much because men are usually desperate. There are so many small things that you can do to communicate concern for somebody else or being aware of their existence that is like so unbelievably attractive and like sets off so many fireworks in their brain that like trying to be aware of somebody else's well-being is like such an unbelievably beneficial thing to do. I don't know how this might be as stupid as like, I know it sounds dumb, but people notice these things. They feel these things at least. Like, and I see people fuck this up all the time. If you're walking into a restaurant and there's a table, chair here, is this basic? Does everybody know this shit? There's probably like channels that go over this, I don't know. If you're walking into a restaurant and a server's walking you to a table, don't sit here immediately and make the girl walk past you. Don't do this. Like, walk past the thing and sit here and then let her sit here. So you're both sitting down at the same time, right? If like somebody's drinking like a bottle of water and they finish it off, like asking them as they're finishing, like, oh, hey, do you want another bottle of water? Like, just being aware of somebody else's like needs like that, and not like in a creepy obsessive way. Like, I noticed that you had a hole in your sock last night. Do you want me to go buy something? Not like in a creepy weird way, but just being like attentive to like things that other people need. if like if you're at a table, I go out to eat so much. It's like where all of my polite shit is like at. Like if a girl is sitting here like looking for silverware and she doesn't know if she has, it's like fuck, I think I've got it. Like when the server's walking by, just like, hey, do you have like an extra pair of silverware that we can have? Like saying things like that, being attentive to other people's needs is like, in my opinion, is like one of the most important traits. It is such it communicates so much concern, care, emotional maturity, selflessness. It's just like it's such an unbelievably powerful way to communicate to somebody else that you care about them or that you're thinking of them in a way that for some reason like almost nobody does this. I don't know why. It's a super easy cheat code. Well, yeah, I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, it's just. But also somebody said wrong that comes off as try hard. Yeah, you also, I mean, everything I give, all the advice I give, you also have to do this like in a decently moderate way as well. You can't be like really weird about it. It's like if the girl's like missing silverware and you're like, I'll get it. And you like dive out of your chair and go like fight some other dude for his, you know, yeah. You're making good points, but most dudes just hear simp more and it isn't genuine. I think that like when you think about simping, fuck, I don't know. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. Destiny, do you get sad or upset or disappointed when your friend or partner isn't attentive in the same way towards you? No, because most people just aren't. It's very, 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 very rare to find somebody who is. When I find a girl who is, though, that shit sticks out a lot in my head. I do remember that. I super remember that because it's really, really, really hard to find, even for women that are attentive to your needs like that. It's super rare. Yeah. Fuck, what was I saying before? I don't remember. These are behaviors that you should extend to everyone. Yeah, you really should. You should get, everybody lives in their own bubble so much that if you can be aware of other people's bubbles, you have like such a lead in life in terms of like impressing people. Like if food is delivered to a table at a fast food restaurant and you don't have napkins, like I'll watch somebody get up. Tabor did this once 4 years ago. I remember this in a restaurant. I was very impressed. I don't know if he's here right now. He did this. He did the right thing. I'll see somebody get up when all 4 people are there. I'll see somebody get up, go to the napkin thing, get napkins for themselves, and then come back and sit at the table. And it's like, okay, but clearly none of us have napkins. Why not just get napkins for everybody, right? We were at an ice cream place, Tabor. I specifically remember Tabor got up to get napkins for himself because the whole table didn't have any for their shit, and he got napkins for everybody. It was like, oh shit, that's a really, really, really good thing. Yeah. Yeah, but there's so many like random things like that to show consideration for somebody else that like, yeah, you'll signal like massive care or concern in a non-simpy way, I think. I don't think that's simpy, yeah.
Try to seal it also with sand and other components that we will not.
How is that not a common thing, Destiny? You run into people that don't do this. I mean, sometimes you will for friends, but like I think on dates and shit, people maybe get more into their own head and they're a little bit nervous about shit, and so they don't think of it as much. Maybe, I don't know.
Be able to enter here. We evacuated the sand. We open up those entrance so we can go in, but they're trying to ruin this tunnel in order for us not to be able to enter.
Do you open car doors for women? I'll open the car door if it's convenient, but I won't walk all the way around to open the car door. I feel like that's a little much. That's if I'm trying to lay it on thick, but I'm gonna make a joke out of it because that's really far. In my personal opinion, but this might just be my personality, my circles, blah, blah, blah. But like, let's say that I'm parked here and we're coming out of a restaurant here. If we're both walking towards the car, I might open the door here, like, cause I'm there anyway, right? I'll open the door, let her in, close the door, right? And then walk to my side. But like, if we're coming out here, would I walk around the car with her to open the door for her and then let her in and then close it and then walk back around? Oof. If I'm doing this, I'm gonna make a joke out of it, cause I think you're going pretty far to your way to do it. That would be that's just my intuition on it. But that also could be like my personality type and everything too. If you sell yourself as like a way more gentlemanly, I don't know what the fuck. Maybe you would do this and it would fit with your personality better. Do you think having sex early into dating someone is not the best idea, especially if you both aren't an official couple? I think I like sex, so I'll have sex whatever the fuck the person wants. If you're a girl, you probably should try to wait. You should play games. I think if you're a girl and you're looking to date seriously, I think you should play games around sex. If you make it clear to a guy that like you're not gonna fuck until like date 5 or 10 because you're trying to like find real partners, you can filter out a lot of the trash. Because a lot of guys can turn it up a lot. Guys can be super fuckboy when it comes to just getting sex, and then they disappear after. So I would be careful on that, yeah. You can't fake traits long term. If you only do things to appear nice, you'll be found out. Holding a door open isn't nice because girls hate doors. It's nice because it indicates nice traits. Yeah, I agree. That's why when I don't know, maybe I'm not communicating this idea well, but like that's why when I'm talking about this, I'm not trying to say like, oh, do this, sit like this, do that. What I'm trying to say is like be aware of other people's bubbles and their comforts and their needs or whatever, and then try to be attentive to those needs. In accordance with your own. Like just be aware of like the things that like just be aware of like the other person's body and their presence and like what they're doing and what's going on. Like it's just, it can be so helpful. Like even noticing if a girl is like sitting on a couch uncomfortably, like do you want to move or whatever, like being aware of things like this are huge indicators of consideration that a lot of people just don't have, you know. Is it being a fuckboy if you're upfront about looking for hookups? I don't think so. Some people in my community were saying a fuckboy is a guy who fucks a lot. I disagree. Or at least that's not how we use it in my day. A fuckboy is a guy that pretends he's trying to date a girl, but he's just there for sex. Thoughts on making a girl walk home from a date, afraid of coming off too clingy? I would never let a girl walk home from a date. You're either gonna Uber her or you're gonna drive her yourself. Unless it's like literally like or like walk with her home. Why wouldn't you like walk to her house with her? Well, I guess it depends on the date or the distance. I don't know, that seems kind of weird. I make her walk home and I drive. Based. Any advice if you have no friends and are super socially anxious? I don't know. I truly don't know. If I didn't stream, I don't know what I would do to like find people to hang out with. I'm sure I'd try to figure it out, but. Do you opt to walk on the side of traffic on sidewalks with a girl? Yeah, I do a lot of gay shit like that because I feel like it's so easy, and it like, I think being aware of like that stuff is just nice. It like communicates something nice. Like realistically, like if a car's coming, I'm pushing you in front of that car, bitch. I'm not getting killed here. But yeah, I think it's good to just be aware of that. I think it's good. Destiny, do decent conversation skills, asking questions, being interested in what the other person says count as courteous traits, or do you do all that stuff on top? Well, I feel like conversation is important, but like it has to be like genuine interest. Like follow-up questions are really important. And referencing things that other people have said is also really important, so that they know that you remember things. Like there are girls even that grill me because I'll ask them a question that they've already answered because sometimes I'm just talking to too many fucking people, and then I'll forget shit and it'll bother them. I can tell even if they joke about it, I know it's bothering them that I'm asking the same question twice. You have no excuse for that motherfucker though, unless you're trying to talk to like 20 different, not that I'm talking to 20 different girls, but I just talk to so many people like sequentially is my issue, okay? Bro, how do go about hand holding? Should I wait for the girl to hold hand/arm, or do I initiate first? I'd rather she do it, but then again, she might not mind if I initiate. Jeez, oh, we're on like, the super, that territory. I'm gonna say this, and this might be not true, or I might be missing something. I don't know how to answer that question. Like the conversations and the vibes I give off are so fucking flirty and explicit that I would just hold their hand because it's whatever. But like if you're not like as explicit as me or as like out there, I don't know. I mean, I think you have to, it's like the movie shit. You just have to do it. It's just awkward. I think you just have to like go for it. So like if you're in a movie theater, like setting your hand near theirs or like resting it on top of their hand and then seeing what they do, it would have to be shit like that. Like I think like this, like it's like, I think you can rest a hand on another hand and see like, well, are they turning their hand over to try to like make some contact? Are they kind of like awkwardly like pulling away? Do they remain there frozen in fucking time and space? Okay. Like they've just been zapped by the fucking Midas, right? Like you just kind of have to go by, I think like body language and everything past that point, but that's a stupid thing to say if you don't know what to look for. Yeah. I have this problem with no idea why either. Good job. Are you even chat for real, bro? Good job. Walking on the side that is against people or against cars is always a subconscious thing too. I don't know. You're supposed to walk against the cars because it's like if cars are going to hit you, then you want to be hit instead of the girl. It's some autistic chivalry shit. I don't know. How would it be if the girl led a lot of these, like they grabbed the guy's hand, etc.? I think it'd be nice. but I'm into like more aggressive women. It'd be good if girls did this in general. It'd be less guesswork. What's the best way to tell a girl that I like to be pegged? I don't know, start with something soft. I think a lot of girls are into that shit, but you have to like, I don't know, tell like, have you ever used plugs before? I don't know, start with something small. Be careful probably. Depending on the community that you're in, it could go really wrong, so. Little gestures to show that you care about her as a person are important. Something that works for me is designing a trolley problem type situation and making it clear I would pull the lever to kill 5 people and save her. The moral hypotheticals where you value them really go a long way. Based. And I don't think so much, but a lot of the girls I talk to are really into the whole, this guy needs to be able to fight / shoot and defend for me if we get attacked. That red pillars always claim. I've never in my life dealt with a woman like that. I don't know what to say to that. I mean, it sounds like some hood ratchet shit, but I don't know. Maybe some people are into that.
You can see the stairs here going down.
How come you're not interested in feminine guys like femboys? I don't know. I bet if I met them in real life, I bet it's possible that I would be. Or I could be. I mean, you can probably be interested in anybody, or at least I could probably be interested in anybody. But like when I see like femboys and even trans people and everything online, all of them are so politically fucking crazy and all of them are just whacked the fuck out with 50 million different things. It just makes me hate all of them, unironically. Nothing makes you transphobic or femboy phobic quicker than fucking Twitter. Does he would never sleep with a Vosh fan? I've talked to a lot of ex-Hassan and ex-Vosh fans, but I don't know if current ones. There's one girl. Oh shit. She stopped talking to me after the K9/11 shit. She said I was unhinged. That chick. I thought she was really cool too. She's like, why are you guys laughing? You guys are so disgusting. At Destiny, I feel like my first time or cuddling would be super emotional. How likely is that to turn off a woman I'm dating? Why would it be bad to be emotional? Okay, here, this is what I'm saying, okay? In terms of like feminine shit for guys, okay? It's really good to have, if you've got strong masculine traits, okay? Masculine also does not mean muscle. I don't know why, bro, there are muscly guys are the gayest, most effeminate people I know, okay? The muscle shit doesn't matter, okay? If you have strong masculine traits, the stronger your masculine traits are, the better it will be to also have strong feminine traits too. So like if you're like a really cuddly, like emotional, whatever, you know, gay bullshit guy when you're cuddling, as long as you're balancing that out with strong masculine traits, like outside of that area, that's really, 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 really good, in my opinion. This is why I always say, these red pill guys always disagree. I don't give a fuck, suck, well, who cares? In my opinion, the stronger your masculine traits are, the more your feminine traits can shine. And you should push both of those to the max. Like if you're a super masculine guy, you've got a very masculine archetype or character or demeanor, right? You can also have super feminine traits and they become so attractive, especially because they work so well in contrast with your actual personality. It's such a good contrast. So yeah, if you're ever worried about coming off as too feminine, it probably just means that you need to work on your masculine traits more, or you're doubting your feminine side for some reason. Tell us some feminine traits. Here's the thing that I'll say. I would critique girls, probably guys on this too. Most girls suck at this. I personally, I think that cuddling is a really good skill to have. There are so many different things that you can be doing with your hands while you're cuddling people that you can melt women's fucking brains by just being a good cuddler, okay? This means you should be like scratching people's hairs, like fingers, like nails. Also, don't bite your fucking nails because you're losing like 80% of your cuddle powers by biting your nails off, okay? Scratching people's hair like at the base of their head, slightly sexual or whatever, but like running your fingers through somebody's hair, just like squeezing it from the base. If you're pulling people's hair, don't do this, okay? Because that fucking hurts, right? You always come in and do this. Things like dragging your fingertips or your fingernails like over people's arms, things like pressing your thumb into somebody's back for like just rubs. You could do it all along the shoulders, even like dragging a fingertip like across the outside of somebody's ear or like up or down somebody's neck. There's like a million different places. Unironically, there's a million different places on a person's body that just like feel really nice when you're cuddling with them. And yeah, like a lot of people when they cuddle, they just like lay next to each other and it's like, what the f are you doing? Like do something, you retard. Yeah, I think that it sounds weird, but like I think developing skills cuddling somebody is a really good post. But the reason why it doesn't matter as much is because by the time you are cuddling, you're probably already in anyway. So like, why the fuck? Yeah, I think that can sell shit quite well. I would say like cuddling well is probably like a feminine trait though, right? Learn to give massages. Yeah, I mean, it's if you can give a real massage, it's good. But if you can just like rub somebody's like lower back, upper back, shoulders, and neck, you're probably good to go most of the time. Or even like somebody's like feet or like ankles or legs. Like I feel like giving rubs are easy as long as you're not fucking retarded. Like if you're trying to like massage somebody's forearm, like what the fuck are you doing? Like just don't be retarded. Like generally if you press your thumb into like a muscle on anybody's body, it's probably gonna feel good. Just don't be stupid. Don't be like on somebody's back, there's so many good places to rub. Lower back is full of good places. You almost can't go wrong like on somebody's lower back. On somebody's shoulders in that area, you almost can't go wrong. But if you're like pushing your finger into like somebody's like bone or some shit, like it's just weird. Don't do that. Don't be retarded. Yeah. Has it ever hit a drunk girl? I don't know. You have to know people well before you get to that shit, but I'm not sure. Do you agree with the take that most girls who say they are switches aren't actually switches but just don't want to say they're subs? Yeah, but that's a lot of people in general. Also, most people that say they're subs aren't even really subs. They're just lazy, right? As soon as a girl tells me like she's a sub, I'm like, that's f***ing great. I'm glad you're a sub. We're gonna go to my bedroom. You're gonna get on your knees. You're gonna suck my dick for an hour. That's what daddy says. Okay, but then when they're like, well, I don't know if I like that. Oh, okay. So you said sub, okay? I didn't hear sub. What you meant to say was pillow princess, okay? What you meant to say was lazy f***ing bitch who just wants to lay there and get f***ed, okay? Don't say sub. I don't know why the f*** you said sub, okay? Sub means you listen to what the f*** I tell you, okay? And you do what the fuck I tell you. And hopefully I don't abuse the f*** out of you, right? That's what sub means. What you really mean is you're a lazy fuck, you. And then you kick him out of your balcony, bitch. Don't ever let people get away with that shit, okay? Destiny has never said this. I said this to your mom last night, Karen. Ask her. A negging cuddle strat that always wins is to grab their leg and drag them off the bed, make them hit their head on the frame, avoid giving off clingy vibes. True. Usually what I'll be doing is I'm like cuddling with a girl really well. On my other hand, I'll have a phone and then I'll drop it. I'm like, oh my God, sorry. But what I've actually dropped it to is I'll create another Discord account. This is what I usually do before I see a girl, okay? So let's say I'm seeing an Asian chick, okay? Asian chick, pretty hot. We'll say like, 34C cups, okay? What I'll do is I'll make another Discord account, and then I'll have the profile picture will be super hot. Her hair will be finer. It'll be dries quicker out of the shower. She'll have 34 DDD chests, okay? And I'll load it up with nudes, all the nude pictures of it. And then when I'm hanging out with the Asian girl, I'll draw my phone like, oh shit, and then she'll see the other Asian girl on the phone, and it'll destroy her self-esteem. And then from there, now you've got him in the palm of your hand, and it's all over, because now she's going to desperately be trying to win approval from you over the fake girl that you showed her on her phone, and it's done so at that point. Okay, is it a good idea to introduce your date to streaming world shit and Pepe emotes, etc.? Girls generally like it. It's probably true for guys too, unless the guy sucks. Girls like to see guys that are engaged and passionate about other things, as long as that thing doesn't like ruin your life or take too much time away from them. So if there's things that you're excited about or cool, as long as it's not super weird or whatever, then that's probably fine. But I think that if you're super into hobbies like that, I think that should come up early. I don't know why people try to hide major hobbies from like dating partners. People will be like, oh, like I'm on my 7th date with a girl. I've got every single Asukia, I don't know what the fuck the dolls are, like every anime collectible from like every single thing the studio has made. I don't know if I'm ready to tell her that I like cartoons yet. And it's like, bro, why? You're gonna hide this your whole life? Do you think a lot of women would like cute Pepe drawings? Bro, if you're making them, yeah, they'll love them. As long as she likes you, yeah. Have you ever had experiences with girls that come from old money? I think a couple, probably less than 5 would be my guess. I can think of 2 off the top of my head, and if I really try to think, maybe a few more. But yeah, bro, I remember visiting this one chick's house. Holy shit. She was like, yeah, Justin Bieber used to live up here. I think it was in Calabasas. Yeah, bro, when I picked her up around, I was like, Jesus Christ. I don't need to wear no protection here, okay? Because if I get you knocked up, I'm going to be set for life. My God. There's probably been other old money people, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. I probably don't run in the same circles, though, as a lot of, like, old money people. Did they live with their parents? Yeah, but she was going to law school. Or no, I think she was going to college. Now she's going to law school. Fuck, she might have graduated by now, but... Did Mel get convicted for tax fraud? Oh no, Mel won all of her shit. Kind of. No, she got convicted, but like, it was just at the end of the sentencing, it was just like some fines. So it was like, okay, just dumb shit. Do most people think this much about social interactions? I feel like unless you're socially inept, just going about things naturally and being kind, like you would to anyone else works best. Maybe I can't speak for everybody else. I feel like in high school, also, by the way, I could be like totally mixing up like all the causality and everything else. So when people talk about like why they are the way they are, always take that with a grain of salt. I could be ad hocing or post hocing all of this, so I could just be harder maybe. But I feel like in high school, I noticed that the way that I process situations and emotions and everything else were way different than a lot of other people, especially girls. And because of that, if I were to act like myself, right, I like super blunt, super frank, very discreet, like let's figure this out, blah, blah, blah. If I act like that always, the responses I get from people are not that good, except for other like autistic men, basically. Like nobody likes that type of interaction. So I spent like a considerable amount of time in late high school, like figuring out like, okay, well, what are the things that you do that people like? What do people like when you interact with them? Like what are things like offering to grab a drink for a girl, or remembering like things that she likes at a restaurant, or using a person's name in conversation or DMs with them, or like there's a lot of like little tricks that I started to notice, like people really like this or that or that or that or that. So it helps me put together like a more comprehensive, like this is how a person's mind works. These are the things that are like big triggers for them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I think I've said in my early 20s, I probably like leaned too hard into that as being like kind of like a little bit manipulative. But then like as I get a little bit older and I'm not like a piece of shit and I figure out things better, I think there's just like things that people enjoy, and if you think about it, you can figure out like why they like it and blah blah blah. And it should ideally you like incorporate it like pretty naturally into yourself. Like when I'm doing something nice for somebody, I'm not usually thinking like, I know that if I remember that this bitch likes Sprite, and if she goes up to the bathroom and I order a drink while she's not even here, then when she comes back, the server brings it, she's gonna be impressed that I remembered and I ordered it for, like I'm not thinking shit like that. I'm just saying like, oh, I remember she likes, like I'll just order it when the server comes out. Like it's like that, if that makes sense. Yeah. I learned very early on in high school that asking questions and then zoning out while remembering key words, key phrases they used, or small anecdotes did wonders. Okay. I guess, yeah. The problem I found with this is that when you genuinely try and put yourself in other people's shoes, you end up convincing them that you're trying to control them. Okay, that's kind of weird. Or I don't know. I feel like you can be considerate of that or be aware of that. Like, did you see Hassan becoming a tunnel expert? No, I didn't. Why are you wasting your voice on this virgin hour shit? I don't know, bro. Tomorrow my voice will be better. I can feel it. Because we've talked the whole time today and my voice hasn't gone out yet, right? So.
Why would I give you any of the people that I talk to in mainstream media so that you can go and fucking endlessly harass them? You are a cyber stalker.
When Hassan says he's got media contacts, what he means is like there's some dude at The Intercept that like messages him shit. That's the only fucking type of media contact this guy has.
Psychopath who is not even interesting because you don't have a name. I do have names. I'm just simply not going to give them to you. I do. But you are a bad faith, uncharitable dickhead who is in here to derail. So of course.
Destiny, because I feel like I agree with most of your takes, but if you find yourself dating / trying to date that kind of old money girl, you end up having a completely different experience than dating normal girls. You joke when you say, better come in this bitch, but when you are dating them, there are some considerations that you would never have with other girls, although conversations are vastly more interesting and they tend to have their lives packed with activities. Yeah, I guess. If you're... I mean, like, I feel weird giving this advice because one, it's outside of my area of expertise, and two, if you're asking for advice on this, you're probably but if you're trying to date like old money people, things like family and family status and like your status are going to become very, 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 very important topics that you need to be ready to like build conversation and engagements around. Like you need to have good conversations with parents where you are trying to be like impressive with your background. We are trying to seem like you're, because it's not just about dating the daughter at that point. You're becoming like an inheritor or like an asset, hopefully, to the family. So the approach to that is completely different. Yeah, like you're probably not getting with a girl or guy without their parents' approval and shit. Or if or without it, you're gonna get like, it's just gonna be weird. Yeah, but that's like a world that I'm not as much a part of because yeah, good luck. 5 dates in 12 days in. 5 dates in 12 days in. She seems keen on / hard open convo, and she's a solid 9. One friend says wait 1 month. Other says wait 10 dates. Thoughts? Unsure on gauge. If she wants to fuck, why not? I don't know. I just like sex, but I don't know.